Thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Rainbow Reiki experiences with Marie. I don't even know how to say your last name yet. Do you want to say it for me?
Really pretty simple. It's like Marcia and so, like Marcia, so.
Oh, that is simple. Fantastic. That's helpful.
Looks far worse than it actually sounds.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I really wanted to bring Marie on tonight because she has been doing Rainbow Reiki since 2004. Is that right?
Yes.
And
prior to that, I did Usui Reiki. Yep.
And I love that. That's good. So it's basically, I wanted to bring on someone who's been very well established in the Rainbow Reiki traditions, has worked directly with Walter numerous times, so that if you are thinking about the Rainbow Reiki classes, if you are just wanting to know more information, wanting to experience or hear some stories of experiences with Rainbow Reiki, Marie's here to share with us tonight. So thank you all for being here. We have everyone from Bozeman to Atlanta, Columbia Falls, Montana, Ohio, Wisconsin, Portland, and Iowa so far. That is fantastic. If you are here, I'd love to know where you're watching from. I would highly recommend utilizing our chat box. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you want to interact with us, know that is here for you. We love, love, love to dialogue as much as possible and make this as conversational as possible. So, and then if you have a question that you're like, it's going to get lost, there's so much chat going on, know that we have a little ask a question box down here on this bottom bar. And so you can put it in there and it will give me a notification so that I don't lose it. So that's kind of the way this all works. If you are new to Reiki Cafe University's webinars, but really excited to have Marie with us. So tell us the story. How did you stumble upon Rainbow Reiki and Walter and his trainings?
Well, as I said, I was a Usui Reiki Master, and I had studied with, William Rand, and I went to the Reiki retreats that he used to have every fall in New York. And in 2003, when I went with a couple of friends, Walter was presenting. So we heard him present, my two friends and I, and then afterwards it was announced that he was going to be coming to Tennessee for long-term trainings a couple of times a year and to see this certain person if you were interested. Well, my two friends and I just looked at each other and we said, we're going. It was just listening to him and connecting with him and recognizing that we just knew this was our soul path. We knew it. So we started that journey going to Tennessee a couple times a year for a week or two each time. And so then by 2007, I became a Rainbow Reiki Master, which at that time was the original structure. The structure has changed now that it's a down system. But at that time, it required several classes. There are several classes that you needed to take because Rainbow Reiki is a very expansive system. So to become a master, you not only took the like the first level and the second level, but you also took classes like family relationships, loving relationships, and also we have this wonderful crystal called the Leotian. It kind of looks like a Vogel wand, but my Lord, it's really it's from Lemurian tradition. And there's so many healings that you can do with this. My favorite one, not that there's really a favorite, but one that I know I do use an awful lot is called Regeneration. And it does regenerate tissue. It really does. And I have fantastic results with it. Not only for that, but other things like goddess safety and bringing a divine being into you or somebody else. Bringing elements in to balance an element imbalance. I could go on, but that's just part of the training to become a master. There are many pieces. However, just in Rainbow Reiki First Degree, it's incredible the amount of content in it.
Right. Well, he sent me the manual, and I'm like, this is a hefty level 1 manual. This is not just your typical level 1
No.
history and where you place your hands. It's extensive, and that's why I'm so excited, because it really has a lot more depth and beyond the traditional what we would find in westernized Usui Reiki. So do you want to just mention some of the little things that we're in for?
Well, for one, if you are a Usui Reiki master, 95% of the material would be new to you. 95% of it. But I think
I'm excited about that.
It's a pretty strong statement. And okay, so one of the hallmarks of Rainbow Reiki First Degree is something called Marchesseault, and I think Walter has talked with your group about that, and so you have some awareness of that this is an incredible 20-minute treatment in which you receive all kinds of energies, and you can do all kinds of extra things like soul retrieval and using essential oils. You can use crystals. You can put them all kinds of special positions in to enhance the healing experience. And that's all part of what Rainbow Reiki First Degree includes, is learning how to work with aromatherapy, as well as crystals, as well as various kinds of meditations, and how to work with the medicine healing Buddha. A really wonderful meditation that you learn is the Mount Kurama meditation, in which it brings in the energies of Mount Kurama to the divine beings who have been there for millions of years, Fudomio and Bishmonten, who were there when Usui was there and are still there. You connect with those energies and you feel those energies, and you have the opportunity of doing this beautiful meditation that invites healing for you. If you do this meditation for like a week, it's like, whoa, a whole nother experience that you have. And then, of course, you learn these, there are 17 basic positions for Rainbow Reiki, and you learn why you do them in the order you do. You understand the relationships to the meridians and to the process of release, and how you need to release energies in one area before you start putting energies into another. So you really get a very thorough explanation of that whole process. You learn how to balance chakras, how to give an aura massage, which has a tremendously soothing and harmonizing effect when you do this. And you can do this live and in person, and you can do it within the context of a Marchesseault, which can be done distantly. And there's no other Reiki first class that I know of that you have the opportunity to give a distant healing. But this Marchesseault can be done in person and distantly.
Do you feel that a lot of the information that's coming through the Rainbow Reiki class is I feel like it seems like, since there is so much content, it's kind of almost like you get a download of how to kind of use it? Or is it more of like we're studying the manual and getting the information and then practicing? Like, what do you feel? What feels right to you?
It's all of that, but Walter always says, read the manual afterwards. Read the manual. We keep on reading the manual, and it's true, because it is very rich content and it's very deep. You not only have to read it, but you have to practice it. Yeah. You have to apply it, and that's why it's part of the reason I started my reviews for Rainbow Reiki, because those who have taken it, we get together online, and I answer questions, and I come up with an agenda based on those questions as to what techniques we'll practice. We'll practice on ourselves as well as each other. And that also helps us grow, each person grow by experiencing the techniques more. So it's a great way of also building community, a Rainbow Reiki community, because there's not a whole ton of us in the United States.
Right. I was going to ask, I know you are offering Rainbow Reiki classes, and there's a few others doing so in the US. So, and I'm assuming that you guys are kind of scattered across the US. It's not like you're in one little town together.
That's correct. That's correct. There's two of us in, well, Connecticut, but I think I'm the only one teaching right now in Connecticut. Well, I know I am. And then there's a person in Louisiana, and there's a person in New York, the state of New York, and there's a person in California.
There you go.
And three of us have been with Walter since 2003, 2004. Three of us have been, California, New York, and myself. And the others came along when he started the new Dawn system in about 2012 or 13, something like that.
So can you explain that? Like, this is a new terminology to me, and I'm sure it is for many of our viewers, because we're, most of us are, if we are already doing Reiki, we're very much in the Western system of having level 1, level 2, and masters, or a level 1, level 2, and a split masters class. So, and I know if it's only 5%, like, of what it was, how has he created it? How does the system work for level 1 to level 2, and then the master's class?
Okay.
I know that's like a loaded question.
It's a lot of content. It's a tremendous amount of content. So for level 1, I've kind of given you a little eyeball perspective on that. So when you go to level 2, we know you have the traditional Usui symbols, but Walter has developed these symbols to have a special contact with specific divine beings, so it enhances what you can do with them. So we have 8. We have 8 symbols total. They're called noetic symbols. The Lemurian symbols, Lemurian-based symbols are. And in Rainbow Reiki first degree, you actually get one symbol. It's called the goddess, the great goddess of the ocean. And it's a beautiful symbol that is like deblocks, so that you can put this over various parts of the body that have disharmonic or blocked energy in it. It makes them move, kind of a thing. Yes. So we have very specific symbols for various purposes in Rainbow Reiki too. One of them helps open up the 6th chakra, the 3rd eye, and one of them is one. It's an enhanced blocking symbol that moves that symbol you learned in Rainbow Reiki first degree to a higher level of vibration, so to speak. And there's the medicine healing Buddha symbol. In Rainbow Reiki first degree, you learn how to, you're initiated to some very special mantras of the medicine healing Buddha, and how to use them in terms of healing, and how to use his lapis lazuli light to contribute to healing, and to use mala beads. And in the 2nd degree, you learn a symbol that brings in his energy even more. And that symbol is also used for various healing techniques. All of these are used for various healing techniques. A wonderful one with your Kushinhirai, who is the medicine healing Buddha, is for brainstem cleansing, in which you remove things that are, in a sense, allergic to the body, that are not good for the body. You remove them from the brainstem. And you can do this with bacteria, with viruses, with unhealthy.
How can I get some of that?
Take Rainbow Reiki 2nd degree. It's a very helpful procedure. It's a very helpful from trauma, removing trauma from the brainstem. Very, very helpful. And also there's a psychoharmony technique, in which you have a person rate an issue from a scale of 0, least distress, to 10, most distress. And before you do the treatment, it takes 3 to 5 minutes. And afterwards, you ask them to rate it. And it always goes down at least 2 points. And I've had it sometimes go down 4 and 5 points. And it's a wonderfully helpful technique. There's enhanced mental healing because of this relationship that Walter has developed with the divine and the relationship with the goddess Amaterasu to the Shokugate symbol. You can do a mental healing in 10 seconds, and it's very effective. It's very effective. The chakra energy cards you learn a lot more about in Rainbow Reiki 2. They're introduced in Rainbow Reiki First Degree, but in Rainbow Reiki 2, you learn more about them, and they're a really valuable piece in that they teach you the spiritual lesson of whatever issue that you have going on. And as oracle cards do, they connect with your higher self. So your higher self is the one choosing the card that when you ask the question about, what will heal this, what will heal that, or what do I need to learn? And it's always right on. It's always right on. So you utilize that for the mental healing. And then there's harmony relationships, harmonizing relationships. And that means like allergies, people with psoriasis, with seasonal allergies. I had someone with a severe wool allergy, and it harmonizes them. They don't have the problem anymore. So there's also connecting with your higher self. You learn how to connect with your higher self and your inner child, and also with specific angels, divine beings, and how to get information from them and to help with what you're dealing with. There are many harmonizations in terms of like the navel, the diaphragm, all of the joints of the body. And
he seems to have a definite flavor in Rainbow Reiki about physical healing components, like specific ailments or conditions. Like, I feel like this is a theme I'm hearing. Would you agree?
That's a piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and and it's probably the piece that probably draws people the most at first, because these very specific targeted methods are extremely efficient and effective. Mm-hmm. So it's really quite remarkable. But to me, what's even more important is we heal who we are.
Yes.
We heal who we are. So there certainly has been my personal experience with Rainbow Reiki, and it's been my experience with my clients. The purpose is and that's where the chakra energy cards come in so beautifully. That's where you start getting into, okay, what's the root of what's going on here? What is it that we have to heal? What is the life-denying parts of your ego that need to be healed so that they become life-affirming parts? Mm-hmm. What are the qualities that you need to develop so that you're a happier person? How do you help with developing the true emotions with yourself? There's only 3 true emotions: love, happiness, and meaningfulness. All the rest are secondary emotions. So how wonderful to be able to have any situation, any issue that you're dealing with, understood in a way that you can either be more at peace in terms of feeling happy about it, or can feel some love towards the situation, and oftentimes just understanding what it means and what it brings to meaning to you in your life, and in terms of your soul purpose. To me, those are probably the most important pieces of Rainbow Reiki, and this whole development of guidance from your inner child and your higher self, and becoming more resonant with these supports and with divine beings, to have them more present in your life, and you're to be more responsive to them, to be more easily guided by them, and to heal your past experiences. Heal heal issues from your childhood, heal relationships that you're in now, heal your working relationships. How do you approach the situation in a way that's healing, and what are the things that you can do to accomplish that?
Yeah.
So and also self-love. How do you learn to love yourself more? I find it's rare when I find somebody who loves himself enough. That's a really important piece. That's a very important piece.
It's a huge piece. I feel like that is I might start working with a client, and there they are. They're coming in for physical health issues, but it's like every physical ailment has an underlying emotional cause, and we have to get there.
Yes, and that's really what Rainbow Reiki is about. It's getting there. That is really what it's about.
Well, and it seems like you have a lot of different techniques. It's not just let's just do this one type of session.
No.
It's like you have all of these tools, and he's got a whole toolkit. It's not just one tool; it's a whole toolkit that you get with Rainbow Reiki.
It's a huge toolkit, and when somebody comes to you, you're evaluating the situation and having divine guidance, definitely, as to which are the tools that are most important for this person at this point in time, so that you can help move them on their journey, and they work. They work. Yeah.
So the difference between level 1 and level 2 with Rainbow Reiki is that there's one symbol for level 1, and there you get the total of the full 8 in level 2.
Yeah. And there's there's a ton more methods in
level 2.
Tons more methods.
Yeah.
And distant healing of a house, karmic clearing, healing the karma of an individual. You can heal events from your past. Mm-hmm. You can heal, and you can also send distant healing into the future. You learn another kind of distant healing technique in Rainbow Reiki second degree, and you can send healing to a group meeting that you're going to have. When I was a teacher, I would often do that prior to some meetings that we would be concerned about the emotional response, and it always helped. You have also the special actions of the Usui symbol, because as I said, for one, we have with the mental healing symbol, there's a whole a new, efficient, effective way of using that symbol. And with the distant symbol, there's a wonderful method for harmonizing Kundalini and helping it to rise in a gentle way so that no harm comes.
I love that, because you know how many times I hear people have, I think that's my most popular YouTube video, is that the effects of a level 1 Reiki attunement, because so many people have Kundalini rising too fast, and then they're having the after effects and don't know how to bring back in their balance. And so I love that, the idea that Kundalini rising can be a gentle process, can be a harmonious process that is uplifting and in balance with the rest of you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and this accomplishes that. And then there's the power symbol of Usui that that Amaterasu is connected with, and she brings spiritual vitalization. And when you put this, when you use this method, it brings you strength. There's this story of these two gentlemen who were trying to bring this piano up to this apartment, and they were struggling. So one of Walter's students, who had learned this technique, said, "Can I give you a little energy that could help you with this?" So she did the spiritual vitalization method, and whoop, there went that piano right up to the the apartment on the second level, and their struggle was no more. And I use it before I do my exercise classes because it makes the whole process move so much. So much.
Yeah, I know I could use that.
Yes.
I think so many of us can if we're suffering from autoimmune or something that's just laying our energy down, and you just need a boost. That sounds like a nice Reiki boost.
Yes, and there's a method in class when we have in live classes in which you have a person sitting on a chair, and you have a person at each shoulder and at each knee, and you put two fingers like this underneath each arm and underneath each knee, and of course you can't say lift the person. Of course they can't. But then you use this method, which only takes a couple of seconds to do, and then you tell them, now try to lift, and whoop, up goes the person.
That's fantastic.
It goes up, about 6 inches, kind of a thing, but
yeah.
And that symbol also attached to Amaterasu can also bring healing to your heart. Like if somebody is thinking about a situation in which they need more happiness in, and you do that symbol, they really feel they really feel an increased sense of happiness and in relation to what they're thinking about. So these developments of the Usui symbol are very are really helpful in the healing process. And then, as I said, there's the one that opens up the third eye. And you have the third eye. It's our master chakra that regulates everything in our body, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So bringing that kind of harmony to all those aspects of your being is very powerful. It's very powerful.
Yay. So you get a toolkit. And then if you went through the level 1 and the level 2, do you have to wait in between?
No. Oh, no. Matter of fact, like when Walter, when he came here in the United States, that was a weekend. You'd do 4 days right after another, and he does them on that line that way. Sometimes he does them separately too. I do them both ways. I teach them sometimes right after each other, and sometimes separate. A lot of times people just like to take the time to digest one before they go on to the other, but it isn't necessary. You can do all of it, and it's you apply the same principles of reading the manual, practicing, and the review classes, they really help people a lot. People really,
I bet. And how have you, as a Rainbow Reiki Master, have you taken the majority of his offerings then?
Walter teaches about 200 classes. Okay.
I know it.
I've taken a ton of them. Okay. I've taken, and as I said, there's several classes that you take to traditionally to have gotten to the master level anyway. And now with the Dan system, it's kind of split up. You can be a master healer, you can do first Dan, you can go on to second Dan, you can go on to third Dan. But even if you but you can take classes beyond that. Some of the core issues of the Dan system, I mentioned the crystal class is called the Professional Practitioner 2, but there's also a Professional Practitioner 1 in which you learn spiritual acupuncture, which is quite remarkable because within a very short period of time, you can treat acupuncture points energetically and give great relief. There's a protocol for relieving pain that I've used quite a bit. It's very, very helpful. There's also, and also you learn about in the Practitioner 2 class about the 5 holy animals and how to heal with them and how to bring you with them, how to astral travel. That's another part I haven't mentioned, but you can also astral travel.
He'll be offering, Walter will be offering an astral travel shamanic class the end of September. I believe that one's 26th and 27th, but you're not required to take the Reiki level 1 beforehand.
Right.
You can take it anytime.
Right.
And that's, I have so many people, like I've been doing shamanic work since 2010. And so it's exciting to see someone who have already blended really confidently these 2 modalities. And I've been blending them for years. And now I'm seeing it like, look, he's integrated these 2. So it's seamless. And I just love that he's doing it, that you're doing it, that there's other practitioners out there that know how to integrate these 2 concepts into one. Because it really, in my mind, they go so easily together.
Yes, they do. They do. And Rainbow Reiki's second degree, you astral travel also. You astral travel when you do the karmic healing. You astral travel when you make a contact with a divine being. You can ask to see their realm. You do that. So astral travel begins in Rainbow Reiki second degree. I've taken Walter's White Feather Shamanic class a couple of times actually over the years, and I plan on taking this astral travel class because there's so much in Rainbow Reiki that oftentimes you don't utilize certain aspects because you're utilizing other ones, and so I'm looking forward to my refresher.
Yay! Yeah, I'm excited to take the class with you.
I'm excited for that too. But I also want to mention a few more of the core classes, so to speak. And one is Advanced Metaphysical Healing, which is a fantastic class in that you treat issues of the musculoskeletal system without touching a person. And you can get vertebrae back into place. You can heal muscle knots in just a matter of a few seconds. You disperse them, joint issues. It's all kinds of back issues. And also there's a wonderful forgiveness exercise within that class. It's, as you know, forgiveness is letting go of our own pain. Forgiving also, and part of any forgiveness is forgiving yourself, because even though we may not consciously have feeling that we have anything to forgive ourselves for, typically there's something there, even if it's being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And so it's very valuable to go through that process of forgiving yourself. And you also identify where this problem first began. Was it, before you were born, during your birth, after your birth? So that is another level of understanding. And actually, I've had a past life experience, but in that process, it's not typical, but it's something that can happen, and that it contributed to my understanding of that situation that I needed to forgive. And it's a very powerful exercise that people have great results with. It's a valuable exercise. I use it a lot because we all have things to forgive.
Yes. Do you have a specific healing that you've experienced or one of your clients have experienced that stands out to you that has been from the benefit of Rainbow Reiki? Like, do you have one or 2 that are just like,
well, there's oh golly, there's really a lot, but I had a client with that had just been diagnosed with a cerebral tumor, and the doctor wanted to do surgery, and he wanted to give it a 3-month, and he wanted to try other things. He was a friend. He didn't know me very well, but he knew I did this work, and he also wanted to try a change of diet, and he wanted to try other measures. And so the doctor said, well, I can wait 3 months, but I need to see you again in 3 months. So he started with me 3 days a week. And then after the first month, it was 2 days a week. And after that, once a week. And I used a grand variety of methods, and some of them consistently so. Certainly the Mariana Saji is a wonderful base for doing all your healing once you've got it going. And
Mm-hmm.
so when he went back to her after 3 months, and they did the X-ray, and it was gone. There was just some little white matter that was benign, and this has been quite a few years now, and it's never reappeared.
Yay!
Yes, yay. Yes, yay. And of course, he had lots of lessons he learned in regard to that along the way. Then I'm thinking of a distant healing experience I had with a friend who had she had a business for her Reiki and beauty business. It was a combined type of business that was really taking off. And she had a very bad fall. She ended up having plates put into her elbow, and she was so depressed because it was going to take months before she was going to be able to get back to work. So her business was going to close. So I contacted her, and first I picked a chakra energy card, and essentially the message from the card was that although, it's hard to see now, that she really has another path to follow that will bring her even greater happiness and economic support. And this kind of just relieved her so, because she said, I felt there had to be something to all this, and now I have hope. So that in itself was great. And then I went ahead and did a distant treatment, did a variety of techniques, and afterwards she told me she had very powerful experiences of energy moving through her body, and that she could feel things releasing from her body, energy releasing, and her pain was considerably reduced. And she had more movement, and it was interesting because she would identify things happening during the time I was doing specific techniques. And again, this was a distant treatment. So she progressed really well after that. And it was just very moving to help people feel better about a situation that is very, very difficult. And I really love that. I love when people come to me and they're really distressed about relationships and work situations, and we work through that in terms of what the lessons, what you can do, and what are the healing methods that support this. What are the healing methods that support this? I was a Reiki volunteer for 3 years at Yale New Haven Hospital, and I had some very moving experiences there with people going through very difficult times, and the support that they received was it was just so moving, and gave me great gratitude to be able to help them during those times. Just really touches your soul. Yes. It really touches your soul to be able to support people during these very difficult times, and to bring relief and to bring peace. So that's why Rainbow Reiki is my passion. Yes. It's my passion because I know how much it can do, and I've experienced so much of that in my own personal life, as well as in the people that I work with, and the relationships that you form because of that too. That especially among like your fellow students, and the relationship you have with Rainbow Reiki as a ongoing method of growth and development. It's an endless process, truly. Most recently, I've taken classes like the Aura Chakra reading class and the Angel Channeling class. It's called Rainbow Channeling, but it's really Angel Channeling. And most recently, I took the Clairvoyant and Precognition class. And your subtle abilities grow; they continue to grow, and as they grow, you also identify more things about yourself that you want to grow. You discover more and more who you are. Yeah. Who you are, what are your true needs, and how is this all in alignment with your soul path? What is it that you're really meant to do on this earth? And when you feel joyful about what you're doing, that's when you know you're doing what you're meant to do on this earth. You're doing what you're meant to do in this lifetime. If you're feeling joyful about it, that's the key.
That's the key. We were just talking about this before we went live about, if it's a struggle, you shouldn't be doing it. But if it's joyful, it's fun. If that's your Reiki business, if that's offering sessions, if that's becoming a coach, whatever it is, if you're joyful and passionate, like you're on the right track. And I just love that Rainbow Reiki really is it's a full lifestyle, and there's so many learning opportunities. I don't know how many Reiki practitioners, they want to continue learning. They want to continue being a part of a community so that they can, because there's no real end to our education and development and our healing, our practice for ourselves. And so I love that with Rainbow Reiki, that there's always another class.
Oh my Lord. I can't get enough of them. Excuse me, I'm just going to turn my light on here.
Sure.
But that was one of my heartbreaks, living in the United States and Walter being in Germany. It was like, oh, man, if I lived in Germany, I'd be there every week, at his center, So now, because of COVID, I have this opportunity. I think I told you previously that he was going. I've been organizing here in the United States, and he came last summer. He's going to be coming again this spring, but because of COVID, it all went. I went Zoom, but because of that, I've had so many opportunities to take some wonderful classes that I've wanted to take forever.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like we're called to be adaptable during this time, and look at how many more students he has now because he went and made himself available online.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
And so are you two confidently teaching the Rainbow Reiki classes?
Oh, yes. About every month, every other month. As a matter of fact, I've got Rainbow Reiki first degree coming up the 12th and the 13th. And then I have of September. And then I have in October, I think it's the 11th and 12th, somewhere around there, I have Rainbow Reiki second degree coming up then. So, oh, yes. And Walter's very much encourages us to teach as much as we can. And I love it. I love to teach. I've taught for, since 2008. So I love it. I just love it. So.
Well, there's such an air with Walter and with you that I've met you now. There's not a lot of like tension around competition and who's doing what. Like that just doesn't seem to exist with you guys. And it's such a breath of fresh air. And it's beating the drum to the, like this is the same thing I tell students, like we all have people to teach. We all have an abundance amount of clients that you can attract, and it's just about getting into that alignment, into that space, and it's going to flow for you. But there's a lot of practitioners that they won't teach the masters because then you'll be competition. And I'm just like, you just don't even have that energy at all. And I love that.
And Walter has always set that tone. He always has. And he says, because he says, as you said, people are drawn to different people. So I'd say, well, Walter, if somebody else is teaching what you're teaching, I'm going to take it with you. He said, well, not everyone feels that way, Marie.
True.
So you just go and be you and offer these wonderful classes, and all will be according to divine order.
Timing and how it works. Absolutely. We did get a question in from Alicia. What's the format of the classes? Have you taken his Zoom classes so far?
Oh, of course.
So does he do like a PowerPoint, or is it all lecture, or is it? Okay. How does he set it up?
Okay. The classes like Rainbow Reiki 1 2, I can tell you, I took that just recently with him again because I was hosting it, I was organizing it. So, I was taking it again. And this was my first time taking it on Zoom with him. And so it was also my way of learning how to teach it on Zoom as well. So that, of course, there is lecture, of course, but there's also breakout rooms with Zoom so that he has you practice these techniques on each other, which is Actually, I found even more intimate than doing it in person. Like you have a large room and you have a lot of people there and you're practicing these techniques, but there's noise and there's activity, I should say. It's not that it's noise, there's activity. But when you're in that breakout room, it's very, very intimate. It's just the 2 or 3 of you. Sometimes it's 3 of you. So so there's wonderful opportunity for practice. Absolutely. And then also we also do things as a group too when you're in the Zoom meeting, so that like if he's teaching a particular meditation like the Kurama meditation, we would do that together as a group, and you share. Walter always says sharing is caring, because when we share our experiences, we are offering an experience to someone else.
Yes.
And we are indicating that that we care to participate in somebody else's understanding of what can occur when these particular treatments are delivered.
Yes.
As you well know, you can do the same thing to 10 people and it's going to be a different result. So it's very interesting to hear what various people experience. And also Walter is great about giving feedback about like if you have a question about what you experienced, he's very good about helping you understand that. And the chakra energy cards are often called upon. Well, if you're not sure about that, let's ask the chakra energy cards. But of course, he always expands upon that. So
I love it.
Yeah. So they're very dynamic classes. They're very dynamic. They're interactive. And of course, when the whole group is together during breaks or what have you, it's your choice to keep yourself present there to talk with people if you would like. Or when you've had your lunch, to come back and see who's on and to talk with them. So, so you do get the opportunity to have that interaction that you do have in a live class.
Yeah.
I have been actually positively impressed by how much so, because I was kind of concerned about it, as most people are. But it really works very well. It works very well. And I find when I've been teaching Zoom now for the past year, well, almost a year, because several months anyway, because it didn't start till April when I taught my first class on Zoom. But I find it goes really well, and there's nice interaction and there's nice community. Same with the review sessions. It works very well.
Yeah, I think Zoom has definitely stepped up and provided a really nice platform because of those breakout rooms and because of all the different things that you can do on Zoom. Like if you wanted to have everyone break out into their own separate room and the teacher goes into one classroom, like one breakout room at a time to check in with the student, you can. Like there's all different things that Zoom can do now. And so teaching online has jumped leaps and bounds to where it once was.
And so, they do. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, since they also do have a whiteboard that you can put up there and share the screen and do explanations. There's a wonderful explanation of the Reiki symbol. I've learned so much about that Reiki symbol from him. There's such meaning, and he can draw things and share the screen.
Yes.
So that happens.
And since everyone will be taking it online, you'll get your manual as a PDF. And so know that that's really simple. And if you are one of those paper people, it's really simple to send it to a Staples or send it to a different copy person to have them print it out, bind it for you, and either mail it back or for you to pick up. So it's flexible. And so it just came to my mind, like we've already got 8 people registered. And so we'll be sending out those PDFs of the manual so that you can have it ready for class if you wanted to print it first.
And you can print them on your own printer. Like when you can download it when the class begins and just print it on your own printer. It's no problem whatsoever. And then later you can either hole punch it and put it in a binder, or as you said, send it off somewhere. But a lot of people just do it themselves. It's not, it's not
a ton of ink. I just don't even have a printer anymore. We're like totally paperless.
Oh, wow. Wow. Good for you. Good for you. You'll also receive, when you take Rainbow Reiki First Degree, a link for some of the songs. There's a beautiful, didn't even mention that, beautiful songs to sing. And there are healing mantras. There's 109 healing mantras that you can use. And so you get a link to hear Walter do these things so that you can.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because when we had our Rainbow Reiki experience, like our Reiki circle with Walter, there was a lot of singing, and it's very, I think it made it even more powerful than I've experienced Reiki before,
Yes.
because it's like almost like a trance, and it just brings you somewhere else.
Yes. And yes.
And he says the singing is what attracted me. It was powerful.
Yes, I use a lot of singing when I when I treat, and like when you're doing chakra balancing, it's a wonderful opportunity to bring in, or anytime to bring in, because what these mantras do, they bring in spiritual energy, and there's 3 specific ones for bringing in the energy, the healing energy of the Creator, the Great Goddess, and the Great God, or Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, however you want to refer to it. In Rainbow Reiki, we just refer to them as Great God and Great Goddess. And you'll also receive, with Rainbow Reiki First Degree, a set of videos that Walter put together this past year, to show you the different positions that your hands need to be in for various treatments and for the Marchesseault. And that's very helpful too, because it's a great reference when you're practicing, to, feel confident that, you've got things in the right place, sort of a thing. Yeah.
Like there we go. We're back in focus. So just to recap, we've got the Rainbow Reiki class next week on the 1st and 2nd with Walter, and Marie is our USA resource. If we have questions, if we want further information and Walter's not available, like she does this, tell us exactly what you do in your review classes. It sounds like you take people's questions and you just go over them like once a month.
I take questions, but I also set up things to practice.
Perfect.
But typically, especially in the beginning, people say, I'd really like to, I'd like to practice doing a macro. I'm not real comfortable with that. And then macro is being able to set up a set of positions so that they are automatically downloaded and called on, so you don't have to set them up every time. Or, I'd really like to practice doing a Shalaya Saji, which is the soul retrieval thing. Typically, at first, it's very much driven by, I really, would appreciate help with this and that, and that kind of a thing. So that drives it. That drives
Perfect.
it. That's
well, I think that's really why I wanted you to come on today, was because it's like, I want everyone to know, if they're going to take the class, we do have support here in an easy time zone that works for you. Because I'm going to be taking the class too. I'm going to be taking the level 1 class with you next week. And in that, I'm not going to be your area of expertise. Like, you can't, I can't answer really a lot of your Rainbow Reiki questions. And so and this is what I like to do with whatever I'm offering, is knowing who you can go to for support, and knowing that if you are just super interested in Rainbow Reiki, but you're not ready to take the class, Marie's available for sessions and training as well. So if it doesn't work for your schedule, know that that's available to you. Another question just came in. Is there a maintained connection of support from with Walter specifically after the class? Like, I mean, you seem to have contact with him, but what do you feel?
Yeah, of course, I've been working with him for quite some time, right. And he gets like thousands of emails. So it can take some time. He really intends to answer you as soon as he can, but sometimes you don't get an answer, not because he doesn't want to, or it just maybe got slipped through the cracks, so to speak, because of all the ones that he gets. He does follow-up classes for his wizard class. We didn't even touch on that one. That's the only one that I've ever experienced. I should say that's the first one I ever experienced him doing follow-ups with, and that was just this past past about year and a half. So I don't know. He's never done follow-ups with Rainbow Reiki 1 or 2, and I don't know if he has any intention of doing that. I really don't. So I'm fortunate in that, he knows I'm only going to ask him questions if I absolutely need an answer to it.
Right, right.
So,
well, and does he have like a Facebook group or anything where students
oh,
can?
yes.
Community?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, for fun, there's Rainbow Reiki USA. It's one place that that anybody who's interested in Rainbow Reiki can join, and I'm one of the administrators for that. And so I
Perfect.
Put people on, and we have also a Rainbow Reiki. We have private groups for Rainbow Reiki 1 and 2 and Wizard in the United States, and they're called the Connecticut group, but anybody who's taking these classes in English is very welcome to to participate. And on there, like I'll put on their notices when we're going to have the review. I also send out emails when we're having the review, because there's some people that don't do Facebook, and so I do both. I'll put them on Facebook, and I'll also send out emails, and then that way too, we have an email connection, so that if you want to ask me a question, you can do that.
And do you have a website as well?
I do. I find I keep up my Facebook site a lot better than I do my website. And if you look at my website, you're going to think, oh my God, she's got to do something about that. It's one through the Massage Planet that I did years ago that was free, and you can make your own. You can make your own.
So and it looks like Jackie is asking, and she's on Facebook. So I'll post your Facebook page. Is it?
It's Reiki Rejuvenation Usui, and I can put the link up for you. Let me just.
I just found it.
Oh, you found the link? Oh, boy, you're so good. And then I do have Reiki Rejuvenation massageplanet.com, but I'm not real good about keeping it up so much. But there's a lot of back information on there. I do have a lot of personal experiences that I've had with Rainbow Reiki on my website. I've listed over time. There's several stories, but I know when I work with you about those things, Christine, you're going to say,
Well, I think the Rainbow Reiki folks are hoping that I can help them with some of maybe their business side of things, social media stuff. So maybe we'll get it a little more streamlined for you guys in the upcoming months. So that's really where my passion is. My passion is to support Reiki practitioners, whatever lineage you are, to really shine your light onto your community and onto those people that you can reach, so that we reach more people. And so I love doing the business side of things, but I also am an avid learner. I love to learn more and really add some more pieces to the puzzle, because it all start making sense. The more personal development work we do, the more healing work we do, and the more training we do, the more meditation we do, the more tuning into guides we do, it all helps. Yes. It all helps.
And it doesn't, what you do is so valuable, because it doesn't make, whatever type of light work you do, whatever type of energy you do, you're contributing to the improvement of this planet, and you're contributing to the healing that is so desperately needed in our times. So I'm so grateful to everyone who does healing of whatever school, whatever nature. And I'm so grateful to you, Christine, for helping people shine that light more brightly. So yes. I thank you.
Oh, thank you. And, I think this is yet another, you have said it, Walter said it, it's follow your path, follow that light within you, follow your guidance, and you can't go wrong. So if you are feeling called to rainbow level Reiki, reach out. Walter rarely gives discounts, and right now we have an early bird special going on until tomorrow. So 24 hours from right now, the early bird special will go off. So right now it's on discount. So if you know that you are interested in taking this class and you know you can rearrange your schedule, know that the divine will open your schedule, do the things that need to be done, make the money show up if you believe it to be so and that this is something that you want. Click the link, find out more information. If it's not the right time, you know Marie is teaching classes on the regular. So know that she is also a very awesome opportunity of learning more about Rainbow Reiki and all of the things that she can offer as well. So if you need a session or if you need a class, know that she's available too. And now we have all of her links up in the chat box. So thank you so much for coming on and joining with us tonight.
Thank you. It's been a sheer joy. I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful to all of you who have tuned in. And I hope it has helped you feel more interested in hopping on board.
Yay! I'm so excited. Well, I hope to see a lot of you in class next week. And I really look forward to whatever this journey may bring for all of us. And looking forward to supporting you in whatever way I can. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. And we will see you soon. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone. And thank you. Thank you, Christine.